Hey, everybody. Hey, you caught me there looking where I wasn't supposed to be looking here real quick here. So, hey, as you all know here, it is I, your friendly neighborhood Movies Merica spoiler warning host, Van Eberts. And I just made it, folks. I just made it, okay? So, as you probably know here, if you care, last week, you noticed that I don't believe that we had an episode last week, and that's because I was trying to get my whole new rig, my computer, and all that I use for the show all set up since my last one took a dirt nap. All right, it's sleeping with the fishes, like Luca Brasi on The Godfather. Okay, so but hopefully I'm back. I think I'm back, everybody. I think I've got everything all set up now. Of course, now that I say that, everything's going to crash and whatnot. So that's how it's going to go. That's how it always goes. All right. But regardless, we are going to talk some Joker Folie tonight, or as I'm going to refer to it from this point forward in the show, Joker 2, okay? Because we're American around here. We don't cotton it in French words over here, okay? These colors don't run, all right? Those surrender monkeys over in France. We don't cotton them taps around here. This is America, okay? And us Americans are going to be talking about some Joker Part 2 tonight. But first things first, this.
In a world where the number of movies available is great, but many are so bad, you'll learn a new definition of hate. One man sifts and reviews through the movie sludge. One man will be the movie cop, jury, and judge. He goes by many names, but you know him by Movies Merica.
All right, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, yes, let's get into some Joker 2 here. But real quick here, let me say hi to my good buddy Agent X6 here in the live chat there on the Rumble side. Rumble, that's where you should be at, is the Rumble side. That's where the party's at. That's where the soiree. That's the hot tub with all the hot girls in it, okay? YouTube is like that retirement village. It smells like old stale piss and reeks of melancholy and sadness. That's YouTube. Rumble is where the party's at, okay? Yeah, where all the hotness is at. And Agent X6 is smart enough to join us from Rumble right there. So he's saluting us and getting us all nice and drunk and living it up right there. I love it. So everyone get your drunk, get your drinky going on and whatnot.
I'm drunk. You're drunk? Everybody's drunk.
You know it. So, and I want to welcome my movie maniacs and my fellow freedom-fueled film fanatics. You know who you are right there. So, but yeah, again, like Agent X6 is doing, join me in a live chat on Rumble or YouTube. Rumble's better, but hey, if you got to join me from YouTube, that's cool. You got to do what you got to do. I know some people are afraid of new things and signing up for Rumble and, they want my name. Oh, my God. So I get it. But let's talk some Joker 2, everybody. Let's get into it here as I navigate through my new computer. Okay, so if I look like, I'm over here running this place like a monkey fucking a football over here, I'm going to blame technology because I got all new shit up in here in the Movies Merica Command Center. Okay, so I'm going to blame it on that shit right there. So absolutely. But Joaquin Phoenix in this, he went from the charismatic Joker at the end of the first movie to just this broken down pussy-like shell of that Joker that we saw at the beginning of Joker 2. Okay, so now I'm not saying that I'm not saying I like the character of Joker because he murders people and all that stuff. I'm not advocating for the murder of people and whatnot. I just find Joker compelling, kind of like I found Walter White on Breaking Bad compelling, right? Okay. or Tommy Shelby from Peaky Blinders. I mean, those they're captivating characters. They're pieces of shit, but they're captivating characters, and so that's why I like Joker, because he's a captivating character. While I do not condone movies, Merica does not condone Joker's behavior. All right, so. But, I mean, according to Screen Rant, no matter what you think of that particular website, Joker 2, it takes place in 1985. So that would be, what, 4 years after the events of the first Joker movie. So maybe Joker was just wore down, all right? I mean, like Red in The Shawshank Redemption said, that's all it takes, really, pressure and time. Okay, but in that movie, of course, he was referring to Andy Dufresne in The Shawshank Redemption right there. But pressure and time, sometimes that's all it takes. And, we do see Joker gain a fraction of that charisma back when he meets Lady Gaga's, not Harley Quinn character in here. Because I guess in Joker 2, her name is like Lee Quinzel or something like that. So it sounds like a prescription drug to me. So ask your doctor if Lee Quinzel is right for you. Okay. But it's that charisma that he gets back. It's just not the same as in the first movie. Okay. Now that's a phrase that applies to this whole movie, that it's just not the same. It's not the same as that first hit $1 billion grossing movie. Okay. Because again, the 2019 movie, that was the first R-rated movie ever, okay, to make $1 billion, okay? This movie, though, I mean, Joker 2, it's not even a speck of that original movie, okay? And according to reports that I've seen, okay, on my, my Eyewitness Movies America news team, that I send, from hither and yon across the world to the four corners of the earth to get news for you, my movie maniacs, and my fellow freedom-fueled film fanatics. Other reports have come back to me reporting that the plot of Joker 2 came to Joaquin Phoenix in a dream. Okay, all right. Do with that information what you will. And the filmmakers used what was revealed to one Joaquin Phoenix in a dream. So I guess I'll blame Phoenix for the skid mark this movie turned out to be. Now, that dream must have been the love child of some gas station sushi and flat beer for it to produce this bad an idea. Okay, so, and if you haven't seen the movie, I mean, it's a real bad idea. And if you have seen the movie, you are nodding your head in agreement with me right now, going, yes, okay. Except for if you're the few, like, intellectuals out there that want to be contrarians, okay, like, you just didn't get it, all right? I got it, all right? I went to film school, okay? And I get what Todd Phillips and Joaquin Phoenix were going for, okay? You're just not as advanced as me. Oh, it smells so good. Oh, you're just not as advanced, okay? So you just don't get their vision. Oh, God. Stuff it up your pie hole, all right? But I suppose Phoenix found it subversive and unexpected, okay? Because, he's grown into a family of hippies, and, Phoenix is, off the beaten path a little bit. So he's always just trying to, be unexpected and that kind of thing. So, again, I'm sure he found his little dream-induced idea subversive and unexpected. But you know what else is subversive and unexpected? A shart. But that doesn't make a shart a good thing now, does it, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls? Does it? No. I mean, I'm just picturing Joaquin Phoenix and director Todd Phillips just getting a good little giggle at the idea, how much they knew it would piss off the people whose money buys their mansions, whose money buys their luxury cars, whose money, buys their vacations, to, the Bermuda or, the French Riviera or the Maldives, those kind of vacations right there. You just don't hate how those people think enough. Okay. Not enough whatsoever. whatsoever here. So, and hey, what do we got here? We got Sean Cab, and he's here in the house right there. Yes, he's classing up the joint right there. Good to see you there. I'm Sean Cab, and yeah, he's a blue collar man. All right, he's salt of the earth right there. And look at that. So there we go. Like he's this guy is putting in serious work. Home from kids' soccer practice, worked a long day, hiked about 7 miles, 16,000 steps so far today. There you go. What the hell? It's just putting in work. Okay, and so it's just so right now this should remind you to, I was gonna say, get off the couch, but if you're watching the show on the couch, by all means stay on the couch and then do your hiking after the show. Okay, or if you want to multitask, you can hike and then just watch me on the phone. Like, oh yeah, all right. What was that? Was that a bear? What was that? Was that a mountain lion? Look at that. Oh, I guess it was nothing. All right, I'll just continue watching the show. Ah! So there you go. So if you want to multitask and hike and watch movies, Merica, spoiler warning, at the same time, right there. So, but yeah, it's a good time right there. But yeah, appreciate you joining the show there. I'm Sean Cav. Good to see you there. Now, what should we do next here in this little show right here? Just what should we do? Just so many things we could do right here. Well, we could do this. All right, we could do a little something like tell you all about our tdpn.locals.com show right there. And I told you, if I'm screwing up, it's because of the new rig. Okay, it's because of the new computer right there. But that's my excuse, and I'm sticking to it. But go ahead and check out tdpn.locals.com right there, okay? And why would you want to go there? Well, that is our Till Death Podcast Network website there, where we have all kinds of great content about movies and TV and politics and hot button topics of the day. You name, well, I shouldn't say you name it. We're probably not going to have like meatloaf recipes on there. Maybe sometime. Hope. We will have that because meatloaf is delicious. Ma! The meatloaf! No? God. Lazy skank. All right. Anyway, but yeah, go to tdpn.locals.com. And as you see down below, if you put in promo code TDPN, you get 1 month free VIP access to one tdpn.locals.com website right there. So you get to see all the content presented to you in a way that you will not find anywhere else in this God's green earth or something like that. Anyway, but then after that 1 free month there, it's only $3 a month. That's a measly chunk of change right there. Okay, so now I know in this hard times here, I know we live in the realm of Kamalanomics, and you know what, you might be donating your money to quite frankly more worthy. What's the word I'm looking for, man? I'm completely my brain is fried after setting up this computer all day long. Charities, there you go, causes. Okay, like Hurricane, Milton down in Florida. Thoughts and prayers to all the people down there. Maybe you don't have the $3. Okay, you donating the $3 to those folks down there in suffering from the hurricane. All right, I get that. They deserve their money, that money or your money more than we do this month. But then next month, go ahead and get on tdpn.locals.com. And yeah, it's a measly $3 minimum to check out the website. So it's a good time. You're going to love it. All right. And then while I got you guys, go ahead and hit that like button down there if you would. Okay. So it's down there. It's calling to you like, hit me, click on me. I want you to click on me. I'm the like button. I love you. Okay, so click on the like button down there. And then if you haven't already, click on that subscribe or follow button as well. And also the notification bell down there is calling your name as well. So just get all click happy down there. Again, don't click on the subscribe or follow button or the notification bell if you already have, because then you'll unsubscribe and you'll get unnotified. Don't want to do that right there, okay? Then also, if you're not watching this episode live, okay, if you're watching it later on, well, first off, thanks for watching. Good to see you. But also, if you would get down in the comments down below and let me know, hey, what's your favorite Joaquin Phoenix movie? Are you a Gladiator fan? You like yourself some Signs? Hey, did you like Joker 2? I mean, feel free to admit that down there. I mean, I will make profuse fun of you, but go ahead and admit it. That would be very big of you there. Then also, just let me know, if you like the first Joker movie, anything that comes to mind, feel free to put that in the comment section down below down there. So, and that was a lot of yapping right there. So I'm going to wet my whistle. And that's a reminder for me to remind you to grab your drink, okay? If you're enjoying a beverage, I know I'm Sean Cav is, because, yeah, he walked 17 million miles today. So, I mean, he walked 10,000 miles after his kid's soccer practice, and he's crazy, and his legs probably feel like rubber. So, yeah, I'm never going to do that again. So, but anyway, I'm going to drink so I stop singing. Oh, yeah. Kudos to anybody in the live chat who can name the name of that band. I would walk 10,000 miles. There you go. Name that band. All right. So let's see here. See if we got anybody in the live chat right here, because I think I see signs of life. What do we do here right there? And, here we go. We got, I'm Sean Cav. So what I ended up doing as far getting for my new rig here is I got a Mac Mini. And then I got me like this ViewSonic monitor, because I used to have an iMac, like this 2017 iMac with like this 5 terabyte hard drive, and I can't remember how much, 8 gigabytes of memory and that kind of thing. But it's been almost 7 years since I had that, and the hard drive on the iMac decided to crap out, and so now I'm still rolling with an iMac of sorts, with just a Mac Mini connected to a 32-inch. 16:9 monitor, 4K, and I've got another monitor over here, and and I've got the audio interface. Got all kinds of shit going on here, but it was the computer, the main computer that I typically use, that I had to replace right there, and it was just so wonderful. Hey, don't you love that? I mean, the worst part is like when your computer goes out, you don't know what caused it right there, and then you start feeling a little bit better when you take it to the Genius Bar, or maybe you're just very technologically inclined and you can figure it out yourself. So once you know what the problem is, then you feel a little bit better, until they tell you like how much it's going to cost to repair it or something like that. And then, but I think I got lucky here with this there. So, but hey, yeah, I'm Sean Cav. Obviously, I was also right about the band, the Proclaimers. I love it. So, and I'm Sean Cav. I use an iMac, iPhone. Well, there you go. See, that's what happens, man. You got to click fast. So he uses an iMac 24. Oh, there you go. Absolutely. Everyone, that's the beauty of like being a content creator on Rumble or wherever you do it like that. I mean, you can just use whatever rig you want, whether it's an iPhone or Android. And you just like sometimes I'll use my iPhone with like gimbal, and I'll tape shit like that. So it's fantastic. It's the one good thing about technology, or one of the good things about technology. There's a lot of bad things about technology, but that's one of the good things is, if you're a content creator, pretty much the only limitation is your imagination, because you got all the hardware like right there at your fingertips. You can do whatever right there. So, and Lindy uses 2 tin cans and twine. Don't forget the pig spit as well. And hey, and that reminds me, Lindy Rig 87 has joined the show. Good to see you right there. And I like your guess, Ramstein. Oh yeah, so close. Unless you're a fan of Air Force bases and you wanted to just name a random Air Force base, there's a gotta love it. And great retort right there. Lindy Rig streams via smoke signals and cave drawings. That's a true old school right there. That's natural. Right there. But more Joker 2 on the menu. I mean, one of the things that people would talk about, with as far as the objections to the movie, is a lot of people thought that people didn't like it because it was a musical, and some people legitimately did not like it because it was a musical. Okay, I didn't care personally. I didn't care that they made it a musical. Like I said in my spoiler-free review that I did back on last Sunday. Check the spoiler-free review from last Sunday out on Movies Merica. They're on on Rumble and YouTube. But like I said in that spoiler-free review, I think they could have made the music very effective in using it to unsettle the audience. So, like, have the music always be a precursor to some bloody murderous scene where Joker is wreaking havoc. Okay, so that way, when you hear the first notes of a song, you get that sense of foreboding that something deadly is about to at the hands of the Joker is afoot. Something's going to go down, right? So, if they're about to play New York, right? You hear oh my god, the last time they played a show tune, last time they played an old standard tune like that, Joker went and killed like 17 people in one scene. Oh my god! And now they're playing music again. Oh my god! What's Joker about to do? So I mean, they could have used the music as a precursor like that. Okay. If they wanted to use songs sparingly elsewhere too, that would be fine. Again, musicals aren't a problem for me as long as they're good. All right, like La La Land, Sweeney Todd, Les Miserables, Tick Tick Boom, Book of Mormon, Hamilton. Those are musicals. I like those. Those are all good musicals there. All fantastic. Okay. It's just the way that they just did that half-ass talk singing with most of the songs. Okay. Give it your all, man. Okay. I get it. Some songs you sing quiet, like most of I Dreamed a Dream from Les Miserables, the one that Anne Hathaway did, the quiet song that Anne Hathaway did in the movie version of Les Miserables. But not nearly every damn song has to be sung all quiet and talk singing and all that stuff. So now there was like one sequence where Lady Gaga is giving her all, and she's singing some song. I think it was called "We're Building a Mountain" or something like that. So because they had to have one song so they could prove to you, like, hey, Lady Gaga, she can still sing. She didn't lose her shit. She didn't lose her talent. She can still sing. It's just most of the movie she's just talk singing and that kind of thing. But point being, in spite of all of that, it being a musical isn't the reason I don't like Joker 2. Okay, there's just so many more reasons that I don't like it here. So time for another swig of my boozy booze. Again, grab your drinks, ladies and gents, and take a little tug off yours right now. It's Thirsty Thursday. It's almost the weekend. Plus, that's a pretty big ass bottle of beer, so I got to keep working on that. I don't want to get it all. Don't want it to get all warm, so it's gonna take some work. I got to put in some work to get rid of that beer. There, gotta love it. But yeah, one of the songs was called "We're Building a Mountain," and this movie, "Build a Mountain," is shit. That's what this movie is. It's a mountain of shit here. So I like one of the scenes in Joker 2 where I think it's Lady Gaga's not Harley Quinn character coming out of the courtroom, and she's talking to the reporters, the big gaggle of reporters, and the reporters are like, hey, what are you going to do now? And Lady Gaga goes, we're going to build a mountain. And one of the reporters is like, what does that even mean? What are you talking about? Build a mountain? What does that mean? And it's kind of cracked me up. It's just some stupid thing, some empty thing that she said that she was going to right there. So, hey, we got Black Shirt 55 joining us here on the show. And boy, how about those Vikings? Sorry you had to watch Joker 2. What was Phillips thinking there? Yeah. It's yeah, he wasn't thinking right there. Hey, the Vikings, yeah, they're 5-0. 5-0. They're the only undefeated team in the NFC. I do believe right there. The Chiefs are undefeated, but they're in the AFC. So, but yeah, what was Phillips thinking? What he was thinking was that he wants to piss off the fans, the original fans of the fans of the original movie, I should say, there. And I'm going to go over that point, too. I'm going to go more in depth. I'm going to do a deeper dive on what Phillips was thinking here a little later on as I go through an article. But also, I learned that it was Joaquin Phoenix. He had a hand in how the movie ended up as well, because like I said before, the idea for Joker 2 supposedly came to him in a dream, okay? Personally, I think it's probably like, the guy downstairs, fucking with him and saying, "Hey, you know what? I'm gonna give you an idea for a crappy movie because the devil, he loves to sow chaos, right? That's what he's all about." And I'm just checking out these random comments. Right? Hamilton was gay. Well, the one part where they're like, hey, immigrants, get it done, like that stupid ass line that they have in there, like implying that they're trying to like, you gotta let all immigrants, legal or illegal, you gotta let them all in. Like, I was enjoying Hamilton until they threw that stupid ass line in there. So Joker 2 will turn you into an alcoholic. That is for sure. So yes. So yeah, keep any of your loved ones that are, that they've given up. They used to be an alcoholic, or I guess you never stopped being an alcoholic. It's something you always fight. But point is, like, keep them away from Joker 2 because they're going to turn to the bottle. Okay, again. All right. So, like the late great Tupac said, you want to know who my role model? It's in the brown bottle. Okay, your loved one will return to the brown bottle from watching Joker 2 there. So, in Lindy Rick 87 showing some love to the Norsemen, the Vikings of Minnesota, right there. And Rock of Ages was pretty cool. Yeah, I mean, that was another one of those jukebox musicals there where just, used existing pop songs in the musical right there. Kind of like Moulin Rouge did. Remember Moulin Rouge kind of did its own take on famous songs, famous existing songs and that kind of thing right there. So, all right. So all this talking right here, I think it's a time for me to get to one of our favorite segments of every episode. And that, of course, is Brew Review Time. All right, my friends, this is going to be a very short Brew Review Time because, again, my excuse for me slipping on this episode is I was trying to get my whole new rig going right here, so I didn't have time to do the proper research that Brew Review Time deserves. So what am I going to do instead? I'm going to half-ass it. Yes, I'm going to do it. I'm going to half-ass it there, and I'm just going to show you the bottle. All right, so check out that bottle right there. And if anybody can pronounce that, good for you. More power to you right there. Look at that. The only thing I know about this beer is it comes from everybody's favorite country right now, Ukraine. Yes. So this is probably the official beer of everyone's favorite human being, Zelensky. Yeah, there you go. Yes. The guy that looks at America like his own personal ATM right there. Absolutely. But it's not too bad. Basically, what I'm about to tell you, what I'm going to learn about this beer is by me virtually looking at the label right now because, again, couldn't do the proper research, but I'm doing on-the-spot research right now. So it's a 4.5% alcohol by volume. It's original taste of beer, and it's 1 pint, and brewed in Ukraine. It's got a red label, and it's got some kind of a signet right there, some little sigil there, probably Zelensky's sigil there. Well, that's not his because it's not an ATM on the sigil. So, but yeah, it's halfway decent. And you know what? You get this beer in bulk. All right. So you are not hurting for quantity, and it's got some quality to it as well. But yes, it's from Ukraine, the country that features the blockbuster flag there. So, and the country also that all your annoying relatives that have a Ukraine blockbuster flag in their bio didn't know this country even existed. Okay, and before 2 years ago. So, but anyway, I would say I'm going to drink to that, but I'm not. I'm just going to take a drink. Fuck Zelensky. There we go. Hate that guy. Hate it. All right. So, yeah, he just looks at America as like his personal, massive piggy bank right there. So when I've had it, there you go. Let's spend our American taxpayer money on things more worth it, like building more PF Chang's and more strip clubs and all that stuff. So I mean, how about another bada bing? Am I right there? I'm Sean Cav. You feel me on that one. Another bada bing there. So, but on that bada bing note, that has been Brew Review Time. All right. Yes, right there. I gotta love that. Ukraine Brew, a beer for tyrants. Yes, right there. So I mean, tyrant, being tyrannical, it takes a lot out of you. It's you get a deep down body thirst from being tyrannical right there. And you know what? I almost feel sorry for him, how hard it is being a tyrant right there. And so if they want to hoist up a beer from Ukraine to recharge their tyranny batteries, hey, more power to them. All right. So they can't, it can't have no fade in their tyranny game. Can't do it. Can't do it. All right. So let's do this here. I wanted to, let's go to a particular article that I wanted to show you here. Let's just click on that and do a little, there we go. Okay. So let's here we go. I think this is the article. Yep. This is the very article that I wanted to show you here. So we are going to go up here to this article, and this thing has a mind of its own. Come on. What is going on with this? All right. I think I need to throw some holy water on my, look at this. There we go. Come on. Basically, I'm refreshing right now because this is not working. I'm trying to show you an article, everybody. I'm trying to show you an article, and it does not want to work here. So let's do that. All right, there we go. Maybe it'll work now, and no, it will not. Okay, so let's do this. Let's refresh. Technical difficulty. So remember what I said, like technology is good, before referring to taping stuff and filming stuff and being a content creator. Well, this is really pissing me off right here. So I don't know why it just keeps flipping to the. I'm trying to show you an article, and it just keeps self-scrolling to the. What is going on? It just keeps self-scrolling to the very bottom of the article here, and it will not go up to the very top right there. All right, let's do this. Get out of there. And let's do that. Come on, you piece of shit. All right, let's do this. Get out of that. That is it. What is going on with this shit? What the? All right. We're calling it audible. We're going to do another. Come on. What is going on? Okay. Let's do this. Get out of here. Let's do that. Get out of there. Get out of there. Get out of there. Chrome. What is going on? What the hell? What is going on? Okay, let's do this. Let's try this. And we're going to paste. Okay, my shit is. I've got my cursor going everywhere. What is going on there? I've got a possessed fucking computer here. Okay. Well, you know what? Fuck that. We're not going to do that. We're not, because I don't know what the fuck is going on with my computer right here. Apparently I need some holy water. But yeah, I was going to show you this article, but apparently it is not going to work. What? Let me do this. I'm at that point where I refuse to give up here. Let's do this. It's a pretty good article. What the fuck? That is okay. So we're getting out of that. Getting out of that. Getting out of that. Gonna do this. Come on. All right. Don't want to lose that. Okay. There we go. And let's try this. What the hell? Okay. Go to bookmarks. Come on, bookmarks. Come on. Come on. Let's do it. What is? Okay. Well, okay. I don't know. This is some shit I'm going to have to fucking figure out afterwards. All right. Let's do this. Apparently my eyes dry out when my fucking computer doesn't want to fucking work here. All right. So let's just, call an audible. Fuck the article. Fuck it right in the ass. All right, there we go. Okay. So I wanted to like see the Joker just continue off where he left off at the end of the first Joker, okay? Because I thought Joker 2 is going to be kind of like the Dark Knight, where in Batman Begins, there was, Batman Begins kind of set it up to where you at the very end, you've got Batman talking to Commissioner Gordon, and he's showing him the card that shows, it's a Joker card, right? Joker playing card. And it's kind of setting it up where like, ooh, okay, Joker, he's not apparently going to be in Batman Begins, but apparently he's going to be in the second Batman movie, which ended up being The Dark Knight. And so then we just got the Dark Knight ended up being this great movie where we got to see the Dark Knight just tear shit up, right? And so I was hoping that with Joker 2, they were going to have it where, okay, maybe they show him at Arkham Asylum. He's maybe in prison or something like that, and he escapes somehow, and he ends up like wreaking havoc all over the city, and some cops have to go after him and that kind of thing. But it's got to be like, because if you watch The Dark Knight, there's just so many different sequences where Heath Ledger's Joker is causing all kinds of shit, right? First, he's robbing the mob bank at the beginning, and then, he's infiltrating the mob's little secret meeting, and then he's breaking into the Bruce Wayne party for Harvey Dent, and then he's trying to kill the mayor, and it's just all these different things that he's doing to create havoc, right? He's killing off these fake Batman what impersonators, that kind of thing. So I thought it was going to be more of that with Joker, and it's going to be like this tense, taut thriller, but we just don't get that at all in this. Okay, so this movie just ends up being like pretty much a rehash where they're just explaining and talking about the events from the first movie. So in the first movie, we actually got to see these events. And then in Joker 2, all you hear is people talking about the events here, because they have Joker's trial, in the courtroom, and they're bringing various characters back from the first movie, like Gary Puddles, the midget that he used to work with, as with the clown company, right? That witnessed him, kill the bully that he worked with, and then they had Zazie Beetz' character, the chick that he was fantasizing that he was going to be with from the first one. She shows up in this, and they're all just rehashing the events from the first one, in a courtroom. Okay, and when that's not happening, then pretty much like the only other set that they have in the movie is Arkham Asylum. So like this movie switches between Arkham Asylum and a courtroom, and that's back and forth. That's it. Okay, so it's very boring. That's one of the things that make this movie very, very boring. And so because you don't get all that taut, tense action with Joker wreaking havoc, okay. Even if you like musicals like I do, the pure boredom level of this movie turns you off to Joker 2. Okay, and so while Joaquin Phoenix and Todd Phillips, the director, they did love this movie, and I think even more they loved it, like fucking around with fans of the original and fucking around with Warner Brothers and their money that Warner Brothers gave them to make this. For everybody else, this movie sucks, except for, again, like I was talking about, those intellectuals, the ones that like to call themselves intellectuals, that do the whole oh, you just don't get it, fan, right? If you were just intellectually superior like me, you would get it. Okay, so those only people, along with Phillips and Phoenix, that like this movie right there. So it's just, unfortunately, just a shit show of a movie. And again, it just reminded you that they didn't need a sequel to Joker. And it's even worse than that. This movie actually ruins the first Joker, at least for me. And I'm sure I'm not the only one. I mean, you watch this movie and you're like, it ruins the first one. So if you haven't seen Joker 2, don't see it for at least the reason that it's going to ruin the first Joker there for you. So, yep, absolutely. Lindy Rig 87, yes, there you go. It's a good idea. If it's a good enough article, they do a video report on it there. That's a good point. And I think like Geeks and Gamers, I think they kind of did a little video report of it there, but that's not Variety. Variety's the one that wrote the article that I was looking for here. So, but I appreciate that right there. And we got my man on Sean K. The mob bank getting robbed was one of the best opening scenes for a movie ever. Yeah, wasn't it? I mean, it's right from the beginning where you got the opening shot. It's like the crane shot where they're just like closing in closer and closer, to that glassed skyscraper. And so it's just this downtown area, the skyline, and just zooming closer and closer to that glass skyscraper. And you see the window break, and then all of a sudden you hear the cool Hans Zimmer / James Newton Howard, synth score start up, and the bankers are like, on that grappling line, zipping across to the other building, and they're robbing a bank and that kind of thing. And I liked how Christopher Nolan threw a wrinkle into this bank robbery that you don't see in other movies. I hadn't seen anything like this in any movie, where not only are the robbers robbing the bank, they're killing each other off one by one as they do it, right? I thought that's some fucking cool Christopher Nolan, Jonathan Nolan shit right there. That's some sophisticated shit right there. So I like that there as well. And then, of course, that leads you to, introducing us to the main villain, the Joker, right there, which is like, that which does not kill you makes you stranger. There you go. Great line there from Heath Ledger, the late great Heath Ledger from Joker right there. But yeah, that's just one of the gripes I have for Joker 2. But also, yeah, I'm glad that I remember to let you guys know one of the more important things is if you haven't seen this movie, don't see it just from the pure aspect that if you ever want to watch the first Joker again, this movie is going to ruin that for you there. So don't even bother with it. But and we're going to see Joker again. I think that in the next Batman movie from Matt Reeves, the Batman movie with Robert Pattinson, that one. They were teasing that they're going to have the Joker in the beginning or towards the conclusion of the Batman right there. And I really like that movie. I really like that Batman movie with Robert Pattinson there. I didn't have high hopes for it, but I wasn't as down on it as I was before Batman Begins came out in 2005. Because I remember right when they announced that they were going to bring back the Batman franchise, after the shit stain that was Batman and Robin, I was like, oh, man, just leave Batman alone. We don't need another one. Come on. Leave well enough alone. And then, of course, by the time the end credits were rolling in the theater that I saw Batman Begins, and I was like, thank God they didn't listen to me. Okay, like Warner Brothers, like chef's kiss right there. You knocked it out of the park. Thank God he rebooted that Batman franchise like I always wanted you to. Yeah. So fantastic right there. And of course, Batman Begins led to that mob bank getting robbed scene that I'm Sean Cav mentioned right there. All right, let's do this here, everybody. It's time to do a little promotion right there. Yes, it is. And it's time to tell you guys all about this great magazine called Flip City. And, man, you got to get your hands on some Flip City magazine. And, of course, if you're a curious person, of course, you're wondering, what is Flip City Magazine? Well, Flip City Magazine is the magazine that is taking the place of the once proud legacy of Mad Magazine and Cracked Magazine. All right, those funny magazines, right? Mad Magazine with Alfred E. Newman. Well, those two magazines aren't so proud anymore because they allowed themselves to be assimilated into the woke Borg, all right? But enough from me about Flip City. Hear it straight from the source.
I love Flip City. It has brought new types of badassery and integrity to the print medium.
Genuinely cutting, but also funny, and obviously just chaotic and very fun.
All right. So, yeah, grab yourself some Flip City magazine. And we're making it very easy for you because we are putting what that is. All right. So, I'm hearing some weird stuff going on my side right here, but we're going to try to ignore it. I got like some Woody Woodpecker sounding stuff going on my side right here. So that is weird stuff right there. But anyway, you guys don't care about that. So get yourself some Flip City magazine. All right. And as you see down below, if you click on the link in the description and get yourself some Flip City magazine right now and put in promo code movies, you're going to get 10% off your order of the best non-woke comic around. All right. So get yourself some of that. Do it. All right. So gotta love it. Oh, I want. You know what that was? I had my mouse keyboard, and something was sitting on top of it, and it was basically pressing a key repeatedly. I'm like, what the hell? So let's get rid of that. Bye. There you go. That's probably what was fucking up my browser. What the hell? All right, let's try this again. But Flip City Magazine, get it right now. Okay, I know that was a terrible read. Because I was distracted. All right, distracted, very distracted. Let's see if we can do this fucking browser shit again here. My God, what a pain in the fucking ass that was. All right, let's do this. And see if we can get that rolling. That's probably didn't fix it. Okay, so let's do this. And come on. All right. Have you ever seen a man get aggravated live on a show here? So that fixed it. It was something stupid like that. I was wondering what the hell that was. Freaking Apple keyboard. Getting something fell on it and was hitting that key there repeatedly right there. So I guess you can call off Father Marin or Father Mulcahy with the holy water. Right? No exorcisms are needed right there. So not keep them back there. So all right, that is Flip City Magazine. Get yourself some of that right there. And we're going to try this again. I'm going to I think I've still got that copied, and I'm going to try to paste that in there. Come on. There we go. Oh, all right. I think we're in business, people. I think we're in business. All right. I was getting worried there. Like, oh my God, I just bought this computer. Now I got to get another one. What the fuck? That would just be my luck. Agent X6 has got some wisdom here. Maybe they'll bring back Jim Carrey as the Riddler too there. So, yeah, well, I mean, when it comes to the Matt Reeves movie there, yeah, they've already got that Riddler. He was the main character, the main villain for the first Batman that came out. What was that, like 2-3 years ago already or something like that? I mean, that was a great movie. Also, just from the simple fact that you got a shitload of movie, because that movie was like almost 3 hours long, if I remember correctly. They're almost 3 hours long, so it was nuts. But it was so yeah, you got bang for your buck. Get the fuck out of here. I'm going through like all my since I got a new computer, it's like bringing up all these new windows. Hey, do you want to turn on this? Do you want to turn on that? Or turn on that? So no, do you want to blow me? I'm sick of seeing all this shit right here. So, all right, let's show that and get in here and show that. There we go. There she blows. All right. Okay. That would be funny if a window did pop up from from Google Chrome. Would you like me to blow you? Show's ending early, everybody. Sorry, gotta go. Gotta go. I did. Wow, this is a great new enhancement to this browser right there. All right, there you go. Did you just hear a zipper? And then the show ends. But we got this article right here. Joker Folie à Deux. Joker Folie à Deux's fatal flaw is turning the fans into the villains of the sequel right here. So, and this guy is well, let's see here. This is Peter de Bruges. He's a prominent writer here for Variety, but he goes on to say, I hated Todd Phillips' original Joker, which made me feel like a crank when the hit anti-superhero movie went on to earn the top prize at Venice, an Oscar Best Picture nomination, and more than $1 billion at the box office back in 2019. That film struck a nerve with me, not in a good way. Though I fiercely believe that provocation can be one of art's highest. Let me try that again. Though I fiercely believe that provocation can be one of art's highest aims, by transforming the beloved Batman villain into a poster boy for incels everywhere. All right, so the poster boy for incels thing, right off the bat, that's fucking annoying because that wasn't something that Todd Phillips said about the movie. That is just a bunch of lefty commie dirt rags projecting that as part of the Joker movie right there. Okay, so they're just like they that's the way they interpreted Arthur Fleck in the first one. Okay, and so because they are incels, they projected that on there, like, oh man, this guy kind of reminds me of me right there. So I guess that is an incel. So we're gonna call him an incel. So the whole poster boy, the whole incel thing from Joker for Joker, that was just something that was projected onto the movie. Okay, it wasn't. There's nothing conclusive to show that it was part of that right there. But when one bad fucked up idea, is given birth to, it doesn't take long for a multitude of retards to start spreading the same stupid idea like that. So, but he goes on to say, I know people like Arthur Fleck, and the last thing they or any of us needs is such a film to encourage them. Again, the bullshit incel narrative. I feared it would go down like Scarface as a fictive role model for sick minds. Okay, so apparently they don't have a problem with shows like Breaking Bad. We got Walter White. Like, why aren't they worried about a bunch of teachers watching Breaking Bad and deciding to break bad and start selling meth? Oh my God! Like, what are they like? Oh my God! Look, you got to look out. Like, for some reason they decided to put all that weight, all that bullshit on the movie Joker. Okay, there's been plenty of movies and TV series where the main character is someone that's a scumbag, it's a villain, that's a murderer, right? And like Dexter, right? Dexter's like, no, did we ever see a shitload of articles about like, oh my God, people are going to watch Dexter Morgan on Dexter and they're going to decide to go out there and just start killing people. Oh my God. Like, no, they only started that shit with Joker for some damn reason right here. So, but they go on to say, flash forward 5 years and the character is back for a scandalously unpopular sequel, except that this time it feels like Joker hates us. Or more to the point, it's as if Phillips turned on his original audience, like I was pointing out before. Turns out fans are returning the favor. I spoke to a couple theater managers yesterday, and they reported a strange phenomenon. People are canceling their tickets or simply not showing up because of the bad reviews. Ask yourself, who is the villain in Joker Folie à Deux? Hint, it's not Arthur Fleck. Instead of fearing Joaquin Phoenix's character, it's his fans we ought to be worried about. Those who want him to reprise his role as a face-painted chaos monger there, yes. Then, now take that conclusion one step further. As Harley Quinn, not Harley Quinn, I don't think they ever call her Harley Quinn in this movie, Lady Gaga plays Joker's #1 groupie, who's as delusional as he is, hence the title, Folie à Deux, a psychiatric term which, according to Wikipedia, great source, applies when symptoms of a delusional belief are transmitted from one individual to another. Here, Gaga is introduced looking like Angelina Jolie in Girl Interrupted, a much better movie than this one, but is later revealed to be someone altogether different. No better than the women who send fan mail to notorious criminals arranging to marry them behind bars. But enough about Kamala Harris. All right, so this is not the Joker 2 we expected. The sequel could have picked up at the previous film's climax as Gotham City descends into chaos, like I said I was hoping to see, right? Earlier. That's the more obvious way to satisfy anyone curious to see how Arthur Fleck's story merges with the larger Batman mythology. After all, Joker wasn't just the title character's origin story, but the Caped Crusaders as well, revealing how Arthur's actions led to Bruce Wayne witnessing his father's murder. Okay. All right. But Phillips defiantly steers us elsewhere. Hollywood sequels typically do one of two things. Either they build on a film that came before, expanding the story into a full-blown saga, a la The Dark Knight, previously mentioned, or The Godfather Part 2, or they repeat what worked about the original, recycling it bigger, louder, and at much greater expense, a la Phillips' own The Hangover Part 2, which was a skid mark of a movie as I adjust my eyeballs because they are drying out. All right. So this part right here, I'm going to skip down to this one. So if the violence and mayhem of Joker excited you, well, too bad. Arthur commits no more murders here. Okay, so, all right. So I don't think it's the violence and mayhem of Joker that excited fans. Okay, it's he did that in the movie. Okay, so it's not like they're like, oh man, now I hope that there's some real life Joker that goes out and causes violence and mayhem and whatnot. Like no, the vast majority of people who like the original Joker weren't like that. It's just when you see characters, fictitious characters in a movie that's a fictional thing, does things that you would never want to see in real life, but it's exciting to see up on screen. That's something you call compelling, okay? That doesn't mean you want some Joker, some dude dressed up in clown makeup to go out there and really kill people, okay, right there. But that is the vibe that you get a bunch of, commie snowflakes that were all up in arms about the original Joker. That's the vibe they're putting off right there. But he goes on to say, Arthur commits no more murders here unless you count a fantasy sequence in which he bashes in the heads of the prosecutor and judge. And though everyone from Harley Quinn to the mobs of supporters in the streets is calling for an encore from the Joker persona, Arthur ultimately rejects his alter ego. After all, the ending is a total letdown, though I won't risk spoiling that until the last two paragraphs. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, and it goes on to mention this film landed an abysmal cinema score of D, as in dog shit, with exit polled audiences right there. Now, if you get a D on cinema score, that's a bad movie, okay? Because cinema score is famous for giving flowery grades to otherwise just disastrous, shitty ass movies right there. Like I think like the Marvels got a B plus or some shit right there. So so it's just nuts right there. So let's see what else we got in here. Yeah, I don't care about that. So here we go. You want to know what's wrong with the Joker sequel? It's boring, kind of like what I was talking about before. The plot hinges on that feeblest of trial movie cliches, the insanity defense, that Hollywood-beloved legal loophole, rarely successful in the real world, whereby a defendant can be sent to a mental institution rather than the gallows if it can be proven that his condition made it impossible for him to recognize what he did was wrong. Okay, so let's see here. Here we go. Turns out the joke's on you. If you bought a ticket, Gaga's not bad as Harley Quinn. She's not bad. He's right about that. Though she's on screen a lot less than you'd expect. Phoenix, who won an Oscar for going to method acting extremes in the first movie, seems every bit as committed here. That's true. Losing an ungodly amount of weight to become Arthur Fleck once again. Yeah, he's right off the bat in the movie. You see, like, oh my God, man, Joaquin Phoenix lost a lot of weight right here. He's like, just like Christian Bale did for The Machinist there, if you guys have ever seen that movie there. Let's see here. Let's do this. All right. So let's do this. Here we go. Has Phillips suddenly grown a conscience? The way my colleague Owen Gleiberman put it in his review, Phillips' fatal mistake was listening to his critics. A fair reading, since the director told Vanity Fair that the last laugh in The Hangover Part 3, a post-credits gag where the wolf pack groggily awakens after Zach Galifianakis' wedding, is a fuck you to those who claim this crew wouldn't get blackout wasted more than once. Except it seems self-evident that in this case, Phillips doesn't understand people's issues with Joker. That means if he adjusted anything with his critics in mind, then he's made a movie for no one there. So let's see here. Let's see. There's one part of here that I wanted to check out. Okay, here we go. So Owen Gleiberman, his fellow writer for Variety, Owen characterizes those like me who objected to Joker as scolds, and maybe he's right. I try not to get all high and mighty and moralistic in my reactions to movies, but I've always had a bee in my bonnet or a bat in my belfry about films that appear to glamorize serial killers. Man Bites Dog, American Psycho, Natural Born Killers, which that's always weirded me out, how some people on the left here, and this guy's a writer for Variety, so by no stretch of the imagination, he is somebody on the left right there. They sometimes like to act like the religious right from the 80s, right? Because remember, like in the 80s, we had Tipper Gore going before Congress and losing her mind about Twisted Sister and AC/DC and rap music and that kind of thing, and children are gonna listen to this music and they're gonna kill their parents, and they're gonna go out there, they're gonna rob people, they're gonna commit crime. Oh my, look at the lyrics on Twisted Sisters. Oh my God, this is so. And then Dee Snider, lead singer from Twisted Sister, had to come before Congress and that kind of thing. So there's a whole religious right thing about, we don't like these TV shows, these movies, these albums, these music acts. They're going to foster evil. They're going to foster sin with our children and all that stuff. And every once in a while, you'll see somebody on the left do the exact same thing where they get all puritanical about, like, oh my God, I can't believe that person swore. Now, 9 out of 10 times when they get puritanical about something, it's somebody on the left, like, getting puritanical about somebody on the right, okay? Whereas if a fellow person on the left did the exact same thing, they'd be like, oh, that's totally cool. That's totally cool. But, if, they see Marco Rubio in a video and he drops an F-bomb or something like that, and then they'd be like, oh my God, how dare you, Marco Rubio? How dare you? Children may be watching. You call yourself a very good role model for our nation's children. Oh my God. But then, a couple weeks before that, Chuck Schumer's, dropping an F-bomb on something, and they don't bat an eye about that. Okay. So it's usually that when, somebody like a commie decides to get all high and mighty and get up on their moral high horse and whatnot. But that's what this reminded me of, is when this writer was talking about how he gets all high and mighty and moralistic about certain movies and that kind of thing. So, and all right, I'm going to raise my bottle up high here and grab me a drink here, because that's a lot of reading, everybody. All right. And I just wanted to go through this article here because it has some good perspectives in here as well. I like this. In his book on moral fiction, author and critic John Gardner argues, art is essentially serious and beneficial, a game played against chaos and death, against entropy. He makes the case that writers, though we might as well lump filmmakers in with them, ought not celebrate ugliness and futility, scoffing at good, but should instead focus on creating the kind of art that beats back the monsters and tests values and rouses trustworthy feelings about the better and the worse in human action. My God, this guy sounds like a reverend. He sounds like some man of God, which, being a man of God, there's nothing wrong with that. But that sounds like a man of the cloth's take on pop culture and movies and creativity and all that. Pardon me, that's very uncool. Right there, that's the take. I mean, what happened to the '70s? The '60s and '70s, the subversiveness of art, right? Okay, art is art is supposed to be something like where if someone decides they want to create a piece of art, whether it's a painting or a movie or a TV show or a song or a poem or a sonnet or a haiku or whatever, they get to create and put into that piece of art whatever they want. Okay. And then whoever enjoys that can look at it, watch it, read it, whatever, right? And enjoy it. And then if you don't like it, all you have to do is this very complicated thing of don't watch it, don't read it, scroll past it, don't listen to it, okay? But don't besmirch everyone else's opportunity to take in said art, okay? And stop lecturing about, oh, your sonnet was too violent, it had too much sex in it, or your song, it was too controversial, it had too much it had too many things about people being shot in it. It's not good. You need to beat back the monsters. Like, it just drives me nuts. All right, just let people create their art. If you find it offensive, and I do find some things offensive, but I'm not about to go like, that's offensive. No one should be able to see that. You need to get rid of that. I would never do that. I'm just going to be like, I personally am not going to watch it. I'm not going to listen to it. All right, but I know I don't want to stop, Joe Smith down the street from checking out if he wants that kind of thing. So that's a dangerous road to go down right there when you start enabling people to, consider themselves like amateur taste masters, taste makers, and start deciding what you and I can check out. Like, oh, no, that doesn't pass my smell test, Van. I'm not going to allow you to watch that. I'm not going to allow that movie to exist. It just doesn't. I don't. It doesn't jive with me. So nope, that movie will not be being released in theaters. It will not be coming to streaming. That book, nope, we will not be stocking that book because I like it. There's a chapter in that book I don't like. Like, nope, it should be available to everyone. Not children. I have no problem with people like monitoring content for kids and that kind of thing. So kids should be afforded a chance to be a child right there. So, but as best I could tell, the central premise of Phillips' Joker is that the nihilism of society, or of Gotham City at least, justifies Arthur's actions. From the opening scene, when Arthur is beaten by a pack of kids in an alley, the character is a victim. Now, in the sequel, a lawyer steps in, formally attempting to frame him as such. She argues that childhood abuse, alluded to in Joker, confirmed here, and other mistreatment are the source of his disorder, whether schizophrenia or those uncontrollable laughing jags, based on a condition called pseudobulbar affect PBA. This view is mockingly introduced by the Looney Tunes style opening cartoon Me and My Shadow, which Arthur's alter ego emerges to kill Murray Franklin, then disappears in time for Arthur to take the rep. So at the beginning of the movie, there, like they say, there's a cartoon called Me and My Shadow. So you get the cartoon, then it goes into the movie after that. Joker 2, of course, is what I'm talking about here, and so it's basically the premise of the cartoon is you get Joker. He shows up, to do his little Joker variety show, and his shadow jumps out, jumps away from him, jumps separately from him, and is dragging him all over the place and that kind of thing. And so then the Joker, then the shadow beats the Joker to a pulp and goes out there and goes on stage to do the show while the actual Joker is back unconscious in the dressing room, right? And the shadow impersonating the Joker is like, hitting people and shooting people and that kind of thing, from his variety show. And so the whole thing is about, Oh, well, yeah, there's the Joker, and then there's his shadow, his dark side, the dark side that makes the Joker murder 7 people, that kind of thing. So there's the Joker, and then his dark side, his evil side that makes him do things. And you get a lot of people that have seen Joker 2, and the way they react to people that have said that they don't like Joker 2 is, you just don't get it. You should have watched Me and My Shadow, the cartoon at the beginning, and paid more attention to it. Then you would get the point of it. Like, no, I get the point. Okay. Yeah, it's you got multiple personalities. You got the Joker, Arthur Fleck, okay, and then he's got this Joker shadow that lives within him and makes him do bad things and that kind of thing. It's this duality, right? Okay, it's a split personality, that kind of thing. All right, I get it. It's not that hard to comprehend. It's kind of like I mentioned the TV show Dexter earlier, okay, and Dexter had what he called the dark passenger in that show right there. It's just this dark passenger that makes him want to kill, and then Dexter's stepfather in Dexter taught him to hone that murdering thirst, that thirst to murder, taught him to hone that thirst to murder to actual bad guys and just kill actual bad people instead. So it's not a complicated concept there, intellectuals. Okay, I get the concept. It's just the movie's boring. Okay, right there. So, but it goes on to say. So yeah, Me and My Shadow, which Arthur's alter ego emerges to kill Murray Franklin, then disappears in time for Arthur to take the rap. Will he escape from custody? Will he again get revenge on his tormentors, or will he spend most of the film in court? Arthur is a fictional character, which means his insanity is a construct, while said plea makes a weak plot for a follow-up. That's why I chose to read Joker Folie as an attack on the fans, and quite likely the critics as well. From that irreverent animated intro, the film assumes an oddly antagonistic tone, and it most definitely does here with that. That's a wrap on that article right there. It's enough of that there. So I think I've exhausted that article, but I just thought that article had some good insight to Joker 2, and it basically you got to hear straight from somebody that about the original Joker didn't like it because they thought that it was this movie that was going to be impressionable to people. Literally thought people, might go see Joker, the original Joker, go, now I'm going to start going and killing everybody that's been mean to me. Really? There's been a bunch of movies out there where someone like obviously a character in a movie goes out and kills people, and those movies didn't get the same paranoid reaction from people. Oh my God, somebody's gonna put on a hockey mask and go out to a lake called Crystal Lake, to a campground called Camp Crystal Lake, and start murdering people. Oh my God, they're probably gonna rename themselves Jason Voorhees. No one did that. So why does Joker get that attack on it right there? It just does not make any sense whatsoever. All right, so okay, let's do this here real quick. I am going to get a little tug off here because we are going to do some movie military moment pretty soon right here. Okay, so and then, as you know, that's like my favorite episode, my favorite segment of every episode of Movies Merica. Spoiler warning. And Agent X6. Crazy that those freaks thought only incels would like the first Joker movie. Yeah, it's incredible though. And I think another part of it is I think that they thought that people in real life that they equate to Arthur Fleck would go see this movie and just start going out and killing people there, start doing people harm and that kind of thing. And it's okay. Let's say that that's true. Well, then if that was true, then we would have also, if that logic is true, you'd have like a bunch of black people, or just, well, not just black people, but people going and watching, like the Boys in the Hoods, the Menace to Societies, the Juices, those movies from back the early 90s, all the street movies, all the gangsta movies. You'd have a bunch of people going out there and, oh man, I'm gonna put on my Oakland Raiders jersey and start going and holding up liquor stores and shooting people and doing drive-bys and all that stuff because I saw it in a movie. Yeah, get the hell out of here with that crap right there. But yeah, apparently Agent X6 a lot more than incels like the original Joker because again, that was the first R-rated movie in history to make $1 billion, and of course, Warner Brothers in sadly predictable fashion, decided to really put the screws on Todd Phillips, the director, like, you got to do Joker too. Come on, we got to do it. Come on, there. So this is what Todd Phillips ended up with, and I can see like Todd Phillips kind of being a little averse to doing sequels because his sequels to the Hangover, both those sequels to the Hangover, they suck donkey dick. Okay, so he's probably like, I'm just going to stay away from sequels here, and he should have just, instead of like being a petulant child and making this movie and making sure that it was a piece of shit movie, he should have just said, no, I'm putting my foot down. No, I'm not going to do a Joker 2 sequel. I'm not going to do it. I made you $1 billion. I should be able to say I'm not going to do a sequel, and you should give me money to do a movie that I want to do. Warner Brothers, I just made you $1 billion. Okay. Now, Warner Brothers, actually, they didn't make a whole lot of money off of the original Joker, but that wasn't Todd Phillips' fault. Okay. I think Warner Brothers, they didn't have a big financial stake in the original Joker, and I forget the specifics behind that, but because of that, they didn't make as much money as you would think that they would off a $1 billion movie right there. So that's how that goes down. So yeah, some inside movie baseball that I'm sure is boring the shit out of anybody right there. So all right, let me get another tug up here. Throat's getting all dry. It's almost like I ran those 17 miles with the I'm Sean Cavalry. No, my legs do not feel like rubber. Not at all. All right, so let's do this here. Let's get into a little movie military moment there. And I have got to get my ducks in a row here because I am going to bring up my... Let's do this. Let's get in here and get into... Let's do this. Let's click on that. Well, that works. Okay. And we are going to look up our recipient for the movie military moment today, and I've got to look him up because my new rig decided to kill my where is it? Oh, there we go. Yep, John Lewis Barkley. There we go. John Lewis Barkley. Let's get that going on here. Okay, so yeah, John Lewis Barkley, our private first class John Lewis Barkley, is going to be our honoree for the movie military moment. Okay, and as you may know, if you've seen any episodes where I've done with this, you know exactly what the movie military moment. But if you're new here to the world of movies, Merica, spoiler warning. Well, let me explain to you what the connection between movies and the military is. Okay. So, as you would imagine, if you get awarded the Congressional Medal of Honor, you didn't get it for being the best boot shiner. Okay, you didn't do it for being the best letter sorter at the base post office, right? You didn't get it for eating the most slop at the base chow hall, right? You got it because you did something hellacious. You did something like, if you saw it on a big ass movie screen, it would be a feast for the eyes. You'd be like, whoa, what am I watching? Oh my God. Like, you could have been like a helicopter pilot in Nam, and you're landing your Huey in a hot LZ and the VC, or just shooting rounds left and right into your Huey. You got RPGs all over the place, and your commanding officer's like, get your butt back here to base. That's a hot LZ. You got to get out of there. And you're like, fuck that, man. We got wounded down there. I got to pick up the wounded, and I got to drop off the supplies to our troops down here, man. We're not leaving one of the wounded. All right. It's like, and so if you saw that sequence with all this shit going on, he'd be like, oh my God, this is amazing. This pilot's so brave. My God, he can be killed at any second, or if you're a Marine, on Iwo Jima in World War II, and, you're charging a Japanese pillbox with a BAR, that's Browning automatic rifle, with no regard for your life. You're mowing down the Japanese because you see that they're about to kill your fellow soldiers over here. Something like that. A very cool movie military moment. Okay. And so that is the connection right there. And so with that, we should have a very cool movie military moment intro. So here it goes. Yeah, all right. So let's get into the movie military moment more in depth over here. And so I believe that Private First Class John Lewis Barclay deserves his own music. Wouldn't you think? I mean, it deserves some cool music as we learn more about Private First Class Barclay and what he did to be awarded the Congressional Medal of Honor. Let's go. This is the movie military moment. And for this movie military moment, we honor one Private First Class John Lewis Barclay, who fought in World War I. And let's find out more about Private First Class Barclay. Private First Class Barclay, who was stationed in an observation post half a kilometer from the German line on his own initiative, repaired a captured enemy machine gun and mounted it in a disabled French tank near his post. Shortly afterwards, when the enemy launched a counterattack against our forces, Private First Class Barclay got into the tank, waited under hostile barrage until the enemy line was abreast of him, and then opened fire, completely breaking up the counterattack and killing and wounding a large number of the enemy. 5 minutes later, an enemy 77mm gun opened fire on the tank, point blank. One shell struck the drive wheel of the tank, but this soldier nevertheless remained in the tank, and after the barrage ceased, broke up a second enemy counterattack, thereby enabling our forces to gain and hold Hill 25. And we salute you, Private First Class John Lewis Barclay, for being such a badass during World War I, and you deserve that Congressional Medal of Honor right there. And that has been our movie military moments. All right. Gotta love it. And let's wrap up this movie military moment with that sweet, sweet movie military moment outro dedicated to Private First Class Barclay. All right, there you go. I will drink to that again. Hey, anybody watching right now live? Drink. Now, if you're like a hippie, something like that, raising, free range chickens, woodland raised chickens, you might be drinking some goat milk, and that's totally cool. We don't judge here at Movies Merica headquarters, not at all. We do not judge whatsoever. There we go. Absolutely. So, all right. So real quick here, just let me remind you that, if you are feeling particularly charitable, okay, if you're feeling particularly generous, if you maybe got a big bonus, okay, this week or something like that, and you got some money burning a hole in your pocket, and you are appreciating what this knucklehead over here, okay, is doing enough to throw a little cash my way, a little moolah, you most definitely can do exactly that. And I will explain to you how you can do that. Very, very easy, okay? So if you're checking me out on Rumble, you can give me what's called a Rumble rant. And the way you do that is down by where you type in your live chat message, okay? So, like right where you just typed in that funny joke that you just, live chatted to me right there. Well, there's a button down there with a dollar bill or with a dollar sign on it. And you just got to click on that dollar sign button there. and it'll ask you how much you want to donate there, and it could be something as little as $1. And hey, you know what? I appreciate that. That's totally cool. Now, another way you can throw some money my way is if you're checking me out on YouTube, you can give me what's called a super chat. And that works exactly, or it's pretty similar to the same way. Down while where you typing your live chat message, you just got to click on the button that has a dollar bill sign or dollar bill on it. And then it's just going to ask you how much you want to donate. And again, that's all it is. Okay. That's all there is to it. And so if you want to throw $1 or $2 or $5 or 10 or 100 my way, by all means, I get that. It'd be fantastic if you did. But again, that's only if you feel like it. I'm not going to guilt trip you like some content creators do. You know, they're like, hey, you're not very classy, man, if you don't give me money. I want money. All right. Like, screw that. All right. No one cares. If you're not getting money, work harder. That's what I always say. So if I'm not getting any money from anybody, that just means I need to work harder to be more entertaining and make this more compelling for the masses. There you go. So that they sit their asses with their glasses and watch the show. You got to love it there. So, but again, I just wanted to take a minute to talk about a way to throw a little money my way right there. So now, right now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of just do a half-ass top 5 Joaquin Phoenix movies list right here. Okay, so and I don't even have these ranked. I'm just going to just kind of like off the crack of my ass. I'm just going to like just rank 5 Joaquin Phoenix movies in whatever order just comes to mind, like right here and now. So let me think here. So number 5, because really I got to think about it like in terms of like, okay, so maybe start with number 1, and then I got to figure out, okay, well, so that's undoubtedly the number 1 Joaquin Phoenix movie in my mind. So what's number 2? What's number 3? What's number 4? What's number 5? And then present it to you 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 in that order right there. So let's see here. Well, I am going to go with, I think, Napoleon. Napoleon would be my number 5 movie. Okay, Napoleon would be number 5. That's a movie I think that came out like last year from Ridley Scott. And it's Joaquin Phoenix playing the title character, Napoleon Bonaparte. And that movie's not bad. It's not bad at all. I know some people were hating on that movie. But I think Joaquin Phoenix brings that Joaquin Phoenix energy to the character of Napoleon, and it's amazing like what he got away with in the movie. And then also nobody does like epic historical scale like Ridley Scott does. Okay, it comes in droves in the movie Napoleon. Ridley Scott has got it just reminds you of some of the past movies where he's just had this massive, eye-popping, historical, massive scale, like a Kingdom of Heaven and Gladiator, or a couple of previous examples of that. So, especially if you watch Kingdom of Heaven, which a lot of you probably have never heard because it's underrated, and the theatrical version of Kingdom of Heaven sucks. Get the director's cut of Kingdom of Heaven, and you'll see, like, my God, what was the budget for this movie? My God, they're going everywhere, and then just the extras and the big battle scenes and the production design and the costuming and all that shit. Like, my God, all the boats they have to get, and all the horses, and like, this is amazing. And Napoleon, the movie Napoleon's the exact same way. Where you're watching, like, wow, just the scope and the scale of the action set pieces in this movie is just amazing. In this, just amazing. And so I know Joaquin Phoenix is pretty funny in this movie as well. He's very conniving. He's very insecure, though. That's a main theme that they put forth in this movie about Napoleon Bonaparte. Is he's very, very, it's just kind of just very insecure. But also at the same time, like he thinks he can do no wrong, and he just thinks after a while he thinks like nothing's gonna get him. Like, wow, I'm never gonna lose. Nothing's gonna get me, and so, but it's he does pull off some ingenious tactics and that kind of thing to kind of move his way up the ranks. And because he basically starts off where he's just kind of just he's in the military. It's like a colonel or something like that. He's reporting to his superiors, and then before long in the movie, he's being crowned the king of France, and all the people that he used to be subservient to served under in the military. Now they're saluting him and bending the knee to him because he just made all these ingenious moves to move up the ranks, become the king of France, right there, or the emperor of France, I should say, there. So, but it's a very good movie, very entertaining. It's got some really cool, captivating action sequences here if you love historical battles and that kind of thing. So what should we go with number 4 in my half-ass top 5 Joaquin Phoenix? My kind of pull it out of the crack of my ass top 5 Joaquin Phoenix movies list here. So I'm going to go with Buffalo Soldiers. Okay, that's Buffalo Soldiers. That's probably a movie that definitely a lot of people have not heard of. Okay, and I don't know if that ever got a theatrical release at all. I didn't see it in the theaters. I don't know what turned me on to Buffalo Soldiers, but I'm glad whatever it was turned me on to it right there, because I saw it on like DVD, okay, or saw on some whatever. I saw it on something, obviously. And so this movie came out, I think, in 2002. Let me do this. I'm going to cheat here and check out a little IMDb. And we will go into IMDb here and check out and see what we see. Buffalo Soldiers. 2001. Okay, so 2001 is when that came out there. So, and yeah, it's a great movie. It's so basically Joaquin Phoenix. He plays. He's in the army, I believe, and he's stationed over in Germany. And this takes place like right after the fall of the Berlin Wall, and he is on this base over there, and he's serving under the command of some general played by Ed Harris. And remember how Ed Harris was in The Rock? He played like General Hummel. He was like this badass in The Rock who took over Alcatraz, right? Well, Ed Harris plays a general in Buffalo Soldiers, but he is the exact opposite of General Hummel from The Rock. This guy is like some doofus loser whose wife is cheating on him, and he basically he can't lead his men right. He's just like this. Basically, he's like a lot of officers. Okay, to be quite frankly, I'm ex-mil myself, and a lot of officers were in over their heads, and they convinced themselves like they were ready to lead men, and they found out it's a lot harder than just barking orders. Okay, and so Ed Harris's general character in Buffalo Soldiers is like just one big dolt. Okay, but Joaquin Phoenix's character is kind of like this cool kind of like a leader of men character. He's like I don't know, whatever. He's enlisted. He's not an officer, and so he runs like drugs off the base. Okay, he's like you got to deal with some people off base there and wherever they're at in Germany, and then so he's making money that way, and then suddenly this other officer, like a colonel or something like that, played by Scott Glenn, legendary character actor Scott Glenn, moves onto the base with his daughter, played by Anna Paquin, and Joaquin Phoenix's character, what's his name? Elwood, I think, or something like that. Let me do here. Let me cheat here. His name is Ray Elwood. Yeah, Ray Elwood. So old Ray Elwood takes a liking to Anna Paquin, who again is the daughter of Scott Glenn. So yeah, he's a Sergeant Lee. So I guess he is enlisted. And Ed Harris plays Colonel Berman. He's not a general. And so Joaquin Phoenix takes a liking to Anna Paquin, and Scott Glenn doesn't like that one bit because Scott Glenn is, he's a hard charger. Okay. He eats bullets for breakfast. All right. He eats Constantine wire for lunch. All right. He's a hard charger. He's a meathead. And so and Ray Elwood is the exact opposite. He's like this, kind of using the army to maybe probably get some GI Bill money. And he's using this time over there to, sell some heroin and make some money and that kind of thing. So he's the exact opposite of what the army really wants, right? Okay, and then so he's so Scott Glenn, it's kind of this Scott Glenn versus Joaquin Phoenix dynamic. Anna Paquin takes a liking back to Joaquin Phoenix's character, and they hook up. Ed Harris comes in because, again, Joaquin Phoenix serves under him, and also because Joaquin Phoenix is the one having an affair with Ed Harris's wife, played by Elizabeth McGovern there. And you also get some familiar faces in this movie. Michael Pena is in this. Michael Pena, better known from, the Ant-Man movies, and, The Martian, and several other movies there. So, but Dean Stockwell and Leon's the guy that was in Cliffhanger with Sylvester Stallone. He was the black guy that was in the knife fight with Sylvester Stallone, and Sylvester Stallone ends up impaling him on a little icy stalactite, okay, in Cliffhanger there. So, but Buffalo Soldiers. So it's kind of like it's kind of this funny, kind of subversive military comedy movie with some really cool. Just has like a cool vibe to it right there. It's got a pretty good soundtrack to it. It's you'll watch it, you'll be reminded of like what's that movie there with George Clooney and Ice Cube and Mark Wahlberg in there. So what is that? Three Kings. It's kind of like Three Kings, where it's like this kind of subversive kind of military comedy there. So it's kind of like that. So it's a good, entertaining movie for sure, and definitely like that. So, but Buffalo Soldiers. So that would be number 4 on the Joaquin Phoenix half-ass top 5 Joaquin Phoenix movies list right there. So what should we go for next? So we're on number 3. We're coming down to it here. So let's go with. Man, it's a tough one. It's a tough one over here. Let's go with. See, I'm debating between. Let's go with Gladiator. Okay, I was debating between Gladiator and another movie here. So do Gladiator. Gladiator, when he played Commodus, fantastic movie, and he played a very hateable villain in this. Okay, I mean, he's threatening his own nephew, for God's sakes, towards the end of the movie. There, he's trying to fuck his own sister, and then he's also, he kills his own dad. I mean, this is a real piece of shit. And so then, he's feigning courage, because, obviously we have, pardon me, Russell Crowe is Maximus, and Russell Crowe is the bona fide deal. He's the real deal. He's a real bona fide badass, and Maximus is a wannabe badass. But also he does, but he plays a sleazy, skeezy bad guy very masterfully. Okay, his mannerisms, the way he basically does his lines, his facial mannerisms, just the way he portrays his insecurity and his anger, and he's trying to not very hard, but he's trying to kind of hold back his incestuous desires towards his sister, played by Connie Nielsen, and he's also he's insecure because he wants the people to love him, yet he doesn't care about them as well, and then he's willing to murder a whole man's family and this man, in this case Maximus, and his wife and his son, and all just to become the emperor, a position that his father did not want him to have. Okay, and so I think like with scenes like after Commodus learns that Maximus is alive, right, and Maximus does this whole I'm a father to a murdered son, husband to a murdered wife, and I will have my vengeance in this life or the next, right? That whole scene, and then basically Commodus has to, walk back to the palace with his dick between his, in his own hand. He's like walking anyway. So and so then Commodus has to try to figure out what he's going to do, and he's I'm vexed. I'm extremely vexed. Just some of the funniest lines that he has in the movie, and just all that bundled together makes for a very good slimy character performance as Commodus by Joaquin Phoenix in Gladiator. So that's why it's going to get my number 3 ranking on the top 5 Joaquin Phoenix list. So we're going to get down to number 2, and we're going to rush through this because I'm getting hungry. Man, I'm getting hungry over here. Okay, this is hard work. I'm hard work sitting on my ass talking about movies over here. So I'm going to go with Her. Okay, no, not a particular girl. I'm going to go with the movie called Her. Okay, starring Joaquin Phoenix, and he's a guy. He plays this guy that he has, I think, relatively recently broken up with his girlfriend or wife. I forget if he was married or just dating. And so basically, I think it's fresh. I think it's relatively fresh off a breakup. And suddenly, his company or some other technology company comes out with like this artificial intelligence. And the artificial intelligence, they kind of release it kind of like Apple releases, iPhones or their technology. It's like this big worldwide phenomenon, right? And and you get on and you can sign up for this AI technology where this AI is so advanced that you talk to it and it can just quickly become a person, not with a soul or anything like that, but become this person and really become like this whole persona that you're talking to as if it's a real person, even though obviously in the back of your mind, because ahead of time, this is not a real person. This is AI, right? This is an AI person or AI character, or however you want to think of it, right? And so he gets this AI, I guess probably because he's lonely or something. And then he starts talking to it, and the AI is voiced by Scarlett Johansson, okay? And that soon becomes the Her that the title of the movie Her is referring to. And at first, they're like friendly and chummy, and Scarlett Johansson's Her character is like, oh, you look kind of sad. I think, I know that you like this artist and there's music. Would you like me to play their music for you right now? And he's like, oh, yeah, that's a great idea. Thank you very much. And so pretty soon Her is making his life very, very easy or very simple and very positive and more peaceful, enjoyable experience, right? And his character writes Hallmark cards, right? And his character also works with a guy played by Chris Pratt. Okay, and so Joaquin Phoenix's character in Her is a very sensitive soul. Okay, in this, and then he's friends with a character played by Amy Adams in this as well, and so it's just in this world. So like Joaquin Phoenix, after a while, soon he doesn't. He goes past a friendly connection with Her, this AI phenomenon, this AI character, and soon it becomes more intimate. Okay, and eventually it gets to a point where Scarlett Johansson, this AI, is like she falls in love with him, and he in turn falls in love with her, and they start getting busy. Okay, as much as you can get busy with an AI character, because the AI is like it's there's no physical form to it, right? It's just like you carry it around on your phone or it's on your computer or something like that. You just carry it around and you're talking to it. And in this world, people with this AI product, people don't look down on you for saying you date an AI. They don't look at it. They're like, oh, so are you seeing anybody? Oh, yeah, I'm dating this AI. Her name is Jennifer. And people are like, oh, really? Well, that's great. You're dating an AI. That's awesome. How long have you been dating? Like, it's kind of this weird world like that. And so after a while, Joaquin Phoenix is going on double dates with Chris Pratt and Chris Pratt's wife in this, and he's bringing along his girlfriend. Okay, this AI there, and then, but this movie really wraps you in because Joaquin Phoenix's emotions and his responses to connections that are gained and connections that are lost really start getting to you. You're like, man, I feel for this guy, and they do such a good job. The screenwriter, I forget the screenwriter or the screenwriter's names in this movie, but they write it so well that you start getting wrapped up in their relationship. And you're like, man, I actually kind of want this to work. This is kind of captivating. I know one of the parties in the relationship is an AI, but come on. And things happen, and things get emotional, and so it's just it's a movie that you wouldn't expect that you're gonna like. Okay, if you were to like just to read the plot, you're like, I don't know if I'm gonna like this. This is a little weird. It's kind of out there. It's kind of a little too quirky for me, but it's a very, very good movie. To me, it's kind of got that same kind of vibe as like the Truman Show there, but it's got I think more depth to it. It's got a little bit more heft to it than the Truman Show had. But Joaquin Phoenix just knocks it out of the park with his performance. And then Scarlett Johansson, you never see her, but you hear her voice in this. And then Chris Pratt, he's a pretty good kind of side character in this. And then Amy Adams is like a good friend to Joaquin Phoenix. But I think if I remember right, it's directed by Spike Jonze, who also did like Being John Malkovich, I believe, as well. And Spike Jonze was also in that Three Kings movie that I was talking about earlier with George Clooney and Ice Cube and Mark Wahlberg. And Spike Jonze played like the doofus redneck character out of the crew from Three Kings right there. So hey, that brings us to number one. And so before I get to number one, before I get to numero uno, let me grab a drink off this bad boy real quick here. All right. I needed that. So as we get to number one, and some of you may have guessed this, okay? And as I'm going through this list here, if you think my list is nuts, if you're like, man, what are you smoking? What the hell? I don't like any of these movies. Or what? You put her in front of Gladiator? What the hell are you thinking, man? What the hell? Like, you got to stop sniffing glue, man. Come on. All right. So, but hey, if you're offended,
be offended.
I know I'm an asshole. But number one on my official half-ass top 5 Joaquin Phoenix movie list is Walk the Line. Yes, Walk the Line with Joaquin Phoenix playing Johnny Cash. Yes, the Man in Black. And he really just brings the emotion in this movie. And I think that he, man, I just realized I left a movie off the list right now. I just realized I left Joker off the fucking list right here. I'm going to replace Gladiator with Joker. There we go. That's how I'm going to cover up for myself because I completely love. How can I forget about Joker? I'm talking about the Joker sequel tonight right there. So, yep. So I'm calling an audible. And we're putting Joker in the place of Gladiator. Okay, so now back to Walk the Line. Okay, so but yeah, he puts a powerhouse performance in Walk the Line right here, where he just plays like, remember at the beginning where he just kind of plays this vulnerable character where he's newly married, has kids, he's he's in the Air Force, and just kind of seems like he's wandering through life, not at all doing what he wants to do. And then, but he also, he does on the side, he, likes to play music with his buddies from church, right? And he just really wants his music to be heard by as many people as possible. But he just hasn't really broken through with his original music because, he's, if you remember, he pretty much just plays like gospel songs, right? Just hymns and that kind of thing. And then you get that great scene where he's in the recording studio and the producer in there is just like, I'm bored. You guys are boring me with these gospel songs. Okay. Like, you got anything else? And at that moment, it's such a great scene because Joaquin Phoenix just portrays, and I'm assuming this sequence went down in real life with Johnny Cash, like something like this happened with Johnny Cash, but he portrays the emotion that Johnny Cash you would imagine he was feeling, where it's like, oh my God, I'm about to get turned down. This is my one chance. I gotta do something. Like, I'm about to get turned down. This guy's about to like throw us out. What can I do? What can I do? And he's got that desperate look on his face, and he's like, okay, I don't know if I should do this. I got this one song. It's not a gospel song. Maybe should I break? I don't know if I'm brave enough to do it. Then he finally nuts up, cowboys up, and he starts singing, and that's it. Like, it's all history from there. Since he developed the courage, since he was able to drum up the courage to start singing the song, that his two buddies that were with him, right? Remember, they didn't know the song, right? He knew the lyrics. He had written this song. He knew the lyrics. He knew his part of it on the guitar, but his buddies, the guy on this, on the bass, and the other guy on the lead guitar, there, he didn't know the song. So, but he sort of just started singing, and it was beautiful. It was a beautiful scene where, they start kind of putting the song together, on the bass and the guitar, and you get the producer, and he's like, oh, wow, okay, this is a sound I can go with. This is a sound that I think will sell, and go with this right there. And then this scene where he goes home, and he's just so excited, like, oh my God, honey, we made a record, and we were there all night, and we had to keep singing the same song over and over because we had to do it. Like, he's just so excited, and it's just a great scene. And Joaquin Phoenix just portrays Johnny Cash in those early stages of his music career just so well, right? And then you get the dynamic where then you throw Reese Witherspoon's, June Carter into the mix, and just how they just gel so well in this movie that you just really buy that this is Johnny Cash and June Carter, and he's trying to develop something with June Carter. He just feels this tugging at his heart, even though he's married, right? So he's a kind of a piece of shit for that. But he just really has this love in his heart for June Carter. And he's like, oh, God, but I'm married, all right? So, and then you've got that dynamic between him and June. And at first, they just kind of have this loving, there's this friendly kind of casual relationship. It starts out friendly, and then, the relationship progresses from there to the point where he's got feelings for her, and he's making a move on her, and then his heart's being broken because she won't get with him, and she's off marrying other people and that kind of thing. And so obviously we're talking about some time passing and that kind of thing. And so then he turns to drugs and drink to try to help cope with his broken heart. And it's just the way that he really just encapsulates that in his performance. And then then obviously he did his own singing in this, and the way he carries himself, particularly in the scene where he's at Folsom Prison. And then I think the scene, one of the real emotional scenes that people think of is when he's got everybody at his house, I think for Thanksgiving. He's got June's parents there, and he's got his parents there, and he's got his kids there, and his dad, of course, his dad is just gets on his last nerve because his dad, he's never good enough. He can never get his dad's approval because his dad's you can tell his dad's got jealous, right? And that kind of thing. And there's that scene where Johnny Cash, even though he's this massive star, this worldwide superstar, he still cares so much about what his dad thinks of him, all right? And so his dad, just gives him some lip, right? And then Johnny Cash goes out there, and he's like trying to get the tractor out of the water right there. And very, very, very emotional scene right there. Trying to get a lump in my throat right now just talking about it there. But I mean, that's the number one reason. Just the emotion behind Joaquin Phoenix's performance as Johnny Cash is the reason it is number one on my top 5 Joaquin Phoenix movies list right there. And that, folks, is how you do a top 5 list pulled right out of your ass because you didn't have enough time to do it properly. Okay. Because typically I would have like pictures and all that stuff up here of the movies and that kind of thing, but sweet graphics and whatnot. But apparently I didn't have enough time for that today.
That's the coolest fucking story I've ever heard in my entire life. That's insane. Can I hear it again?
Yeah, I know. I got it. So then we're gonna wrap up this episode here pretty soon here, but I think the movie for next week here, I'm gonna do this. The movie for next week. I just made up my mind here just now. Is so this is the week that the hit piece movie on Donald Trump comes out. That movie called The Apprentice. Okay. And so I'm going to go review that. Okay. A lot of people, I'll review if the Daily Wire comes out with a movie or the Blaze or like the Babylon Bee is about to come out with a January 6th movie. I'll go see all those movies that are, that kind of promote the conservative values that I hold dear and that kind of thing. But also, I always chastise mainstream critics for not going and reviewing movies like Am I a Racist or What is a Woman or other movies like Sound of Freedom, those kind of things. I always chastise those critics for not going to see the movies. But I'm always willing to go see movies that are catnip to the commie left right there. And The Apprentice is going to be catnip, okay, for the commie left, okay. From what I hear, it's pretty much like The Wolf of Wall Street, but about Donald Trump, and it portrays Donald Trump in a really shitty light and makes fun of him, and portrays him as this big buffoon. He doesn't know shit back in his early days when he's trying to become a billionaire and that kind of thing, and of course it's got Sebastian Stan playing Donald Trump. Sebastian Stan probably the most as the Winter Soldier, okay? And Jeremy Strong plays Ray Khan. Jeremy Strong, probably know him best as from Succession, plays Kendall Roy from Succession, the TV series on HBO there. But so I'm going to go see that because I'm going to be the bigger man, and I'm going to go see what I would consider a left-wing propaganda movie, even though the top critics are too afraid to go see what they would call right-wing propaganda movies like Am I a Racist and What is a Woman and that kind of thing. Okay, so I'm going to go see The Apprentice, and I'll report back to you this Sunday afternoon with my The Apprentice spoiler-free review, and then we'll talk about The Apprentice on a spoilery fashion, just like I'm talking about Joker 2 tonight. Spoilers and all. Okay. Although I think I did a pretty good job tonight. I didn't give too many spoilers away. There's a crucial spoiler for the end of Joker 2 I did not reveal in this. Okay. Because I was like, if I don't have to, I'm not going to. Okay. So if somebody had a conversation with me about Joker 2 tonight, and we were talking about it, like if somebody had been in here and they had seen Joker 2, and we were talking about that scene, then I would have revealed it. Okay. But since I wasn't forced to reveal that massive spoiler for the end of Joker 2, I did not. So I think I did a pretty good job. Right there. I'm going to give myself a hand. Yep. I am the greatest. All right. So next week is The Apprentice. I'm going to type that in right now so I don't forget. There we go. The Apprentice. All right. Excellent. All right. Let's make sure I'm not missing any chats here. We're good to go. All right, outstanding. So we're getting ready to wrap this up, people, here. But first off, I do want to let you guys know about some fantastic locations that you guys need to visit, okay? That has to do with me and the rest of the Till Death Podcast Network, okay? Great shows that are going to entertain and tantalize you, and some ways to easily find those shows that are going to entertain and tantalize you. And the first location that I want to bring to your attention is solo.to/movies Merica. And what is there is all links that have to do with me, okay? The links to my X page, the links to my Facebook page, the links to my Letterboxd page, everything that has to do with Movies Merica. You can find it at solo.to/Movies Merica. And so what I would do with this, as I would do with the rest of the locations I'm about to tell you, is save them as favorites in your browser right there. Matter of fact, maybe create like a Till Death Podcast Network folder, okay, and save all these as your favorites in there, okay? So solo.to/Movies Merica there. Check that out. This other one is moviesmerica.com, and that's where you would go if you want to check out the audio-only versions of my spoiler-free reviews that I come out with on Sundays, okay? And so in case you didn't know, I do my Movies Merica live show every Sunday afternoon, and that's considered my spoiler-free review there. That's the spoiler-free review show, and that comes out on 4 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Central, 2 p.m. Pacific, and 1 p.m. or 2 p.m. Mountain, 1 p.m. Pacific. And that's every Sunday afternoon right there. Okay. So, but if you want to check out the audio only versions of those shows, and I don't know why you'd want to do that when you could just watch. But if you want to check out the audio only versions, you can go to moviesmerica.com or Apple Podcasts, Google Podcast, Spotify, iHeartRadio, all those locations right there. Okay. So, and then also I'm on X, I'm on Instagram, I'm on Gab, and under all those locations, I'm there under the handle at Movies Merica. Okay. Also on Facebook and a number of different other platforms. So if you go to a platform and you're wondering, I wonder if Movies Merica is on here, just type in at Movies Merica or Movies Merica. Okay. And in case you see like more than one Movies Merica account, mine is the one with a shitload of videos on it. Okay. So chances are the other ones are like imposters and they probably barely have anything on those accounts. Mine's the one with a shitload of content on it. If that's your first clue. Okay. And then if you follow me or on any of those platforms, let me know. Just DM me or direct message me on X, on my X account under at Movies Merica. Let me know, hey, Van, I followed you on this platform and that platform and that platform. Follow me back there, knucklehead, and I will follow you back, okay? Because you scratch my back, I'm going to scratch yours back, okay? So there you go. All right, and the next one is tdpn.locals.com. Again, that's our website there, all about Till Death Podcast Network. There for your perusal there for that. So, and that's reminded me, I forgot to put that up there. There we go. All right. So well-oiled machine here at Movies Merica headquarters. And the next one is going to be our merch store. Yes, visit our merch store. Link down in the description right there. And get yourself like a Movies Merica shot glass or a Movies Merica t-shirt, okay? Because before you know it, Christmas and Kwanzaa and Festivus and Hanukkah are going to be here. And what says, I love you, mommy, better than a Movies Merica t-shirt? And you can get that via the merch store link down in the description down there. Very easy. And we got all kinds of Movies Merica items down there, okay? Got yoga pants, for God's sakes, down there, all right? So now only if you deserve to wear yoga pants, all right? We don't need any Rosie O'Donnell's or anything like that. We don't need anybody like Donna Brazil. No, you need to be in shape, okay? You need to earn those yoga pants, all right? So that's why you're not going to see me wearing a Speedo out at the beach, okay? Because I'm in no shape to do that. I haven't earned it, okay? So I applied that rule to myself as well. All right, next we've got at Till Death Network, solo.to/Till Death Pod Network. And why you would want to go there is because that's a one-stop shop for all the links that have anything to do with the Till Death Podcast Network, okay? Probably going to see a link to my show and my pages. Probably going to see a link to the links for, or to, probably going to see links to something like the Whiskey Capitalist Podcast show that you see, from time to time there every week right there, okay? So that's why you want to check that location out. And then next we have solo.to/Till Death Studios. And you may or may not want to say this is a favorite. The reason that you would want to save it as a favorite is if you are a content creator like myself and you do a show like this one or do another show in some other format or that kind of thing, and you want to spruce it up with some cool stuff like the intros that you saw earlier, like the movie military moment intro, or the brew review time intro, that kind of thing. Various things to make your show look cool. Well, my man Ian is the guy, the mastermind behind those, and he can hook you up as well with those kind of cool flair. Okay, like Office Space. You want to have plenty of pieces of flair to your content, and so if you're in the market for that, go to solo.to/Till Death Studios. All right. And then we have solo.to/I'm Sean Cav. And that's the one-stop shop for all the links that have anything to do with I'm Sean Cav. You saw I'm Sean Cav earlier in the live chat. And he does that great show called Sipping with Sean every Friday afternoon, typically in the format of a X space. Okay, there. So, and if you want an easy place to find the links to those X spaces for Sipping with Sean, you can check that out there. And then there's links to a number of other things that Sean does. That guy does a lot of content. And so this is a great one-stop shop location for all the links to his content right there. So there you go. Do yourself a favor and check that out. And then we have the solo.to/the Whiskey Capitalist. And are you kind of detecting a pattern right here? All these solo.to web addresses, right? So as you would guess, this is a one-stop shop for all the links that have to do with that Whiskey Capitalist podcast show that you see every Monday and Wednesday nights and every other Tuesday nights, okay? And if you want an easy way to find a link to all their past episodes and their upcoming episodes and that kind of thing, you would do a whole lot worse than going to solo.to/the Whiskey Capitalist to check that out. All right. And then last but certainly not least, solo.to/Till Death Podcast is our last location of the evening. And that's where you would go for all the links that have to do with the flagship show that started it all here. Started out the Till Death Podcast Network, the Till Death Podcast, hosted by Ian and his lovely bride, Jen. And they go over like the news stories of the day, the hot button topics of the day, and they bust out some funny videos that they have and that kind of thing. And they just lend their unique, distinct, funny, compelling commentary to it from a married couple standpoint. Okay, all of those things just marinated in their marital mirth. Okay, so you can check that out every other Saturday afternoon. And I bet you dollars to donuts, there's a link to all their past episodes and a link to all their future episodes whenever you're going to need it at solo.to/Till Death Podcast right there. So, and that is how we do that, ladies and gentlemen. So we are on the cusp of wrapping up this episode of Movies Merica Spoiler Warning, a Joker Folie Deux, or Filet Doo-Doo, as I am going to refer to this movie from now on, because that's the title it deserves, because it's a pile of dog shit. All right, so I think if you take anything away from this episode, it is if you haven't seen Joker Filet Doo-Doo yet, don't bother, because it's going to ruin the first Joker for you. So don't do that to yourself, okay? And with that, everybody, as always, get out there, people. Those movies aren't going to watch themselves. See ya.
Hey, everybody. Hey. I got the police after me. They're coming after me, okay? But I got just enough time to ask you. Just like this video, if you would, and then subscribe to this channel, okay? I'm gonna be in handcuffs pretty soon. I gotta tell you. Hey, so before they haul me off, make sure you watch these videos over here, okay? And thanks for watching this video and the Till Death Podcast Network, okay? I gotta go.